Welcome back to part 2 here at Donington Park for the Touch of Mojo Mark II Golf GTI Championships. The 2012 season was dominated by Jamie Martin, but this year we have some new contenders who might not make it quite so easy for him. We caught up with Lewis Hopkins. So you're not newbie, but you're a returnee. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I did the 2011 season for a whole season, then had a sabbatical, and I'm back this year.
How did you get on in 2011?
It was pretty good actually. We were a bit down on power at the beginning of the season, but once we sorted the car out, I think I finished second in class and third overall. So it was a good season, but obviously wasn't on top.
But you're back with a vengeance and giving Jamie Martin a run for his money, I hear.
Yeah, I think he walked it a bit too much last year. It's obviously annoying to see, so we're back again this year to try and push for the title, I suppose.
You are second on the grid, hot on the heels of Jamie. Going to give him a run for his money then?
I'll try my best.
First year in the Mark II Golfs, but not only that, this is also your first year of car racing.
Yes, this was my first race as well.
And how's this weekend gone for you?
Yeah, it's good. Yesterday went well, qualified 5th. It was the first time the car turned the wheels in qualifying, and managed to get myself into 3rd and was going for 2nd. I've made a mistake and had a little spin round, but managed to get back on track and finish 4th.
That is not a bad start at all. And looking ahead to this race now?
Yeah, I've got a plan. I know what I'm going to do, so see how it goes.
Why have you chosen this particular series?
We did a little bit of research into what to do next, and we saw this was a low-cost, fun, friendly championship to race in. Everyone is really friendly, so if you need any advice, just speak to anyone and you've got the advice you need.
Who is Touch of Mojo?
Touch of Mojo are a brand agency that operate globally for consumer goods companies, so we try and understand what their brand actually stands for.
And you're sponsoring the Mark II Golf GTI Championships. Why did you choose this series?
I think it's great exposure on 32 cars on the grid, but also I started motor racing myself in a Golf many years ago. I just wanted to give something back to the sport and get my sons into it, who are at the moment at university. They've got to earn some money, obviously, to be able to afford it. But yeah, we've bought a car and we hope to get them out later this year.
In the Mark II Golf?
Absolutely, yeah. So they'll be running the Touch of Mojo sponsorship, which is great. I'm very proud of that. And we're getting them up to speed on track days at the moment. So I hope they follow in my footsteps, and the eventual ambition for me anyway is to do 24-hour races with the two of them.
And as well as the 24-hour, are they hoping to follow your footsteps into the touring car?
I think they both like to, yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed touring cars in those days anyway. Particularly, it's very competitive, but I think this is a great championship to start in. It's very close competition, and that's what they need to understand and learn.
Well, it's race 2 of this weekend's Touch of Mojo Mark II Golf GTI Championships. Jamie Martin is up here on pole position, but Hopkins is close behind. Will he knock Jamie off the top spot? Let's find out.
This promises to be a fantastic race then from the Touch of Mojo Mark II Golf GTI Championship with Jamie Martin, Lewis Hopkins sharing the front row from Ian Carvell and Harry Wright on row 2, Harry Vocard and Martin Walsh completing the 3rd row. 5-second board being shown to the drivers, so the race about to go underway here at Donington Park using the national circuit this weekend. And away we go, and it's the bright orange car of Jamie Martin which has been beaten off the line by the white car of Lewis Hopkins. So it's Hopkins number 4 who should take the early advantage. They're arriving towards Redgate Corner. Massive field, although Jamie Martin chances his arm, launching to the inside, braking very, very deep. Last year's champion, Jamie Martin, going very sideways there was Ian Carvell, as they're all cleanly through. 2 classes, of course, in the Touch of Mojo Mark II Golf GTI Championship. Class 2, which is for the 16-valve cars, Class 1 for the 8-valve cars. Arriving into the old hairpin then as the field spread out through the Craner curves, and it's still Hopkins who's got that slight advantage over Jamie Martin. Catch a glimpse there of Alex Harris on the stars of last year in Class 1. He's graduated up to Class 2 for this season, as the race leaders running much, much closer together as they climb up through McLean's on towards Coppice. Jamie Martin trying to sit in right on the tail, and Lewis Hopkins taking advantage of whatever slipstream he can possibly gain from the Golf of Hopkins. They accelerate then out of Coppice along towards the Robert chicane, and Jamie Martin, will he jink to the inside, maybe try and do battle with Lewis Hopkins on the brakes? Yes, he does, and Jamie Martin goes through, takes the lead. Lovely move there from Jamie Martin, Lewis Hopkins would have seen him coming, but Jamie Martin braking desperately late to make that move stick, and already they're braking a little bit clear of Wright in third position. So the leading duo already beginning to just stretch their legs over the rest of the pack. Then we've got Wright and Vocard doing battle as Hopkins all over the rear bumper now of Jamie Martin. Roles reversed, but the gap between the two leaders exactly as it was, which is nothing at all. Further back in the midfield, Josh Johnson going for a very late move on Peter Milne, and also following through is James Bark. Great to see James back in the championship. Quick driver, former race winner James Bark. This group of all black cars at the moment being headed by Josh Johnson. Then we've got James Bark, and then we've got Tom Witts, who leans on Peter Milne as they squeeze their way through the crane of curves, arrive into the old hairpin. Alistair Sedwell also past that scrap. It's number 40, Tom Witts, who was looking the most adventurous there. He was pretty much living by his surname at that moment, but he kept it all on the island and is still in the thick of this battle for the placings towards the bottom end of the top 10. Through McLean's they all go. Alistair Sedwell now looking to try and line up a move maybe on Witts as they arrive into Coppice Corner. Such a challenging corner that, because you have to turn into the corner well before you can see it. That gives them a run onto the plateau along the straight on towards the Robert chicane. Are we going to see any challenges for position this time round? Well, James Bark, a little bit of pressure from Peter Milne in the number 5 car. Instead, Milne is caught on the exit of the Robert chicane by Tom Witts. The gap's ebbing and flowing in this midfield scrap. It's Simon Gustafson, Martin Walsh, who are the targets up the road ahead of them. They're almost 4 wide, heading along the Wheatcroft straight, and it's Peter Milne who somehow found himself emerging towards the head of this queue. So Josh Johnson has made a mistake in car 12, which he looks to rectify by launching to the inside of Tom Witts. Witts covers the line just in time. James Bark also being shuffled down the pack. He's now under threat from Alistair Sedwell, who's the inside line, the right of your screen, number 29. Further back down the field, 2 of the cars in Class 1, it's Mark Hodder doing battle with Paul Cowland. Hodder number 41 just clear of Cowland. As we take a look at a replay, and it's the race leader Jamie Martin running out a little bit wide, and that could be the opening that Lewis Hopkins needed. Not quite, but instead it means the leading trio with Ian Carvell are running very, very closely together indeed as they head through Coppice and onto the straight, and Jamie Martin knows that the cavalry is in pursuit because he plants his car firmly to the side of the road. It means that Ian Carvell in the black number 8 car is swarming every which way, and Carvell's got the inside track here. He breaks it, possibly late for the Robert chicane, onto 2 wheels. Brilliant move there from Ian Carvell. He forces Jamie Martin out wide. It brings Lewis Hopkins up into 2nd position, and now in prime position to challenge Ian Carvell. And well, what a move from Ian Carvell. Lewis Hopkins, though, tries to draw alongside as they arrive into the braking zone for Redgate Corner. He's got his nose in front. He may just snatch the lead away here from Carvell, who gets his elbows out though, defends the inside line. And Ian Carvell, formerly a race winner in the Volkswagen Cup UK, hugely experienced Volkswagen racer. They pick their way past some of the track. I think that's Brian Passmore slowing through the crane of curves. It gives Carvell the opportunity to double his lead to a whole car length by the time they arrive into the braking zone, the old hairpin. Accelerating on towards Swans Curve, and this fantastic race. The drivers have quite clearly got their touch of mojo today. As we take a look at the leader in Class 1, it's Andrew Aldridge, number 95, to the inside line there, the car with the blue bonnet. He is doing battle with Alex Bomber Harris, and also part of that fight is Andy Warnes in the silver and red car. It's Warnes running wide on the exit of Redgate Corner there. Well, Bomber, he's gained 8 vowels over the winter. It's not really actually elevated him too far up the overall pecking order, but I'm sure that as Alex develops that car, he will be challenging for top 10 positions, not podiums, before the season's out. So him and Warnes go side by side through the old hairpin. Back to lead the race, and Ian Carvell leading under real pressure though from Lewis Hopkins, and Carvell goes completely sideways, rides over the curbs, and that is the save of the season. How on earth he kept that car pointing in the right direction, I will never know. Spectacular stuff. It brings Lewis Hopkins right up onto his tail, with then in 3rd position still Jamie Martin as they rub contact between the 2 leaders into the braking zone for Redgate Corner, and still Ian Carvell able to withstand the pressure from Lewis Hopkins. Quite what Hopkins thought he was going to be able to do there, I don't know, as still vows continue. Chris Skip under pressure from Tom Witts. Skip number 74, Witts number 40. They are busy scrapping for the bottom couple of places in the top 10. Also onto their tail as well is James Bark, or still in command of Class 1, is Andrew Aldridge, and he has got Alex Harris on his tail. Harris, for the time being, having withstood and seen off the challenge from Andy Warnes. Ian Carvell moving to the latter stage of the race here has still got Lewis Hopkins, his ever-present shadow Jamie Martin, just even a little bit further back, but will Hopkins be able to get that run into the Robert chicane? For the final time of asking, Carvell's certainly aware that Hopkins is on his tail because he's pretty much parked that car in the middle of the road, most of the way down the back straight, jinks through the Robert chicane, and then accelerates onto the Wheatcross straight. The checkered flag is poised, ready and waiting, and it's victory in the Touch of Mojo Mark II Golf GTI Championship for Ian Carvell, with Lewis Hopkins in second, Jamie Martin completing the podium, and that one of the best races we have seen in the championship for quite some time. What about the battle for Class 1? At the moment it is being headed up and is going to be won by Andrew Aldridge. So Andrew Aldridge taking Class 1 honours for the 8 valve cars, and doing so fairly emphatically from Simon Tomlinson and Alex Nuttall. So let's take a look at the final results, with Ian Carvell taking the win from Lewis Hopkins and Jamie Martin. Then it's Wright and Vogard completing the top 5. Well, into 16th position and winning Class 1 then Andrew Aldridge, with Tomlinson and Nuttall completing the top 20 and the Class 1 podium, as the drivers discuss an excellent race in Parc Fermé.
Nice close racing.
Absolutely, yeah, it was nip and tuck all the way really. I had a pretty difficult first corner with cold tyres and made it difficult for myself, but it was really good fun fighting way back to the front. Excellent.
Andrew, what a way to start the year.
Yeah, it's been fantastic with the double win. Really chuffed with that, thank you very much.
And is this the new set for is this what's going to happen for the rest of the year?
I hope so, I'd like to think so. We've got a pretty competitive car, suspension's pretty good, so yeah, I'm just going to keep pushing and see what I can do.
Well, that's it for us here at Donington Park, and for the first weekend of the Super Pro VAG Trophy Championships and the Touch of Mojo Mark II Golf GTI Championships. It's good to see lots of new faces up on the podiums, and hopefully that sets the tone for the year to come. Hope you enjoyed the show. See you again next time.